Hey guys, it's Rich Tola. Thanks for tuning in to Tola Talks. Adding a little music today. It's me on the harmonica. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Boulevard Zen, but that's where that's from. But we're trying to mix in a little sound. Yeah, here we go. It's our third show of the live stream version, and today's show is all about baby boomers beware. All right, are you a baby boomer? I'm a baby boomer. Baby boomers born in 1946 to 1964. That makes me a boomer. I was born in 1963. Still drinking from the fountain of youth, though. That's the key. But what's the deal with baby boomers? All right. So what happens when you're a little older now, and you made a ton of money, you saved a ton of money in your lifetime, for a lot of you, perhaps, but you're just something's missing, right? You're anxious, you're frustrated. I got a buddy of mine. He's like anxious every day. He's a little bit frustrated because I think the key word is purpose. What's your purpose? You need to have purpose. In the last show, we talked about Dr. Jane Goodall, right? Rest in peace, Dr. Goodall. But what was her purpose? I mean, she had major purpose in life. She had passion and purpose, right? Three words to describe, I think, to really sum her up: respect, understanding, and purpose. It's all about harmonious earthly relationships, right? When we talked about Confucius in the first show, right? He was about righteousness, kindness, and sincerity and harmonious social relationships. But it's all about respect. And no doubt Confucius had purpose. And speaking of Jane Goodall, let me tell you a little more about this. I was listening to an interview she had, well, maybe like 10 years ago, and she talked about how she actually got to Tanzania. She saved up money. She was working in a restaurant as a server. Her first job she didn't like. I don't think she went to school, but then she ended up, she was in London and as a server saving money. She said to take a boat because it was cheaper to take a boat to Tanzania. She was going to, a friend of hers invited her to a farm in Kenya. I think Kenya is just north of Tanzania. So she ended up going there, and then she got an intro to Louis Leakey in 1957. And he says he was able to raise about 6 months worth of money to pay her. And the first discovery was when she saw the chimpanzees using a stick to get the ants out of like a hole, right? So she knew that chimpanzees could use tools, and that's basically what set her on this course, a lifetime course of everybody knows her background with the chimpanzees and all about um, harmonious relationships between humans and animals. She believed that. She went on to get a PhD in ethology, which is the science of animal behavior, in 1965, University of Cambridge. And one thing else I liked about it is they had a couple of questions, right? And this one guy called in and he said, "Do you believe in Sasquatch, right, or Bigfoot?" Right? And she said, "I'm a romantic, so I want to believe that." She said there have been a few conversations she's had with locals that said believe that they've seen a very large gorilla type animal, and they've heard a lot of sounds. They said a lot of sounds that were definitely not from gorillas or chimpanzees. So who knows? I'm a romantic too. I grew up in Jersey, right? So the Jersey Pine Barrens, Bigfoot was a big, yeah. Bigfoot was a big one there for anybody living. All right, let's try this here. Let's try this here. I told you we're trying to use. Okay, let's try that again. Hold on, guys. All right, I got a little short whip in there. All right, let's jump on over to an article I read here. This is an article by Sarah Barr. I don't know Sarah, but hey, I want to give out Sarah from the New York Times. And she's writing about culture and style. She grew up in the suburbs of Indianapolis. So here I am in Indianapolis. So how about that? We're all connected. So she did this article and talks about a quiz. All right. It's a New York Times quiz. Answer 7 questions to determine what's your dream senior living community. Ouch. If you're ready for a senior living community, a lot of people don't like that, but hey, they're great. No doubt. So 7 questions. And after you answer I took the quiz. After you answer 7 questions, and it turns out that Sarah and myself were both the same. there's 7 different categories that she puts you in. And based on the category, she lists all these different locations that you could potentially move to. So here we go. Let me just tell you what, I'm not going to get into the questions. You can look up the article yourself. New York Times, Sarah, Bahr, Sarah, I'm calling that Sarah Bar. So you could go into one of 7 categories. The first is lifelong learner. The second is community minded. The third is creative. The fourth is inner zen. The fifth is toy lover. The sixth is party animal. Seventh is outdoor enthusiast. Which one do you think I was? Lifelong learner, community minded, creative, inner zen, toy lover, party animal, outdoor enthusiast. Have you guessed it? Well, believe it or not, I was the lifelong learner. It said you were the kid who actually liked school. I love school. Talk a little bit about my book in a moment, but I did like school. So there's retirement communities for life, and Sarah's a lifelong learner. Kudos. There's retirement communities that are affiliated with a college or a university. There's 86 of them in the United States. One of them's you can go to Tempe, Arizona. I actually considered Tempe moving there. Greenville, South Carolina. You can go live near Notre Dame in Indiana or Penn State, because you basically could take classes. You could kind of do things with the university. Believe it or not, I wasn't the inner zen, definitely not the party animal. Outdoor with all my back issues, I can't really do the outdoors anymore. But guys, go take that quiz and go find yourself a retirement community that fits your personality. All right. Thanks, Sarah. Good article. All right. Let's do this. All right. I like the whip. What are we talking about next? All right. Let's talk about this. Since we're talking about baby boomers, let's talk about strokes. All right. Anybody know anybody who's ever had a stroke? My grandfather died of a stroke. My mother's father. So that's very sad. Every 40 seconds, someone in the United States, probably a baby boomer, suffers a stroke. It's the nation's 5th leading cause of death, and it's a major cause of long-term disability, right? Can't be cured, but it's highly treatable. It's also largely preventable. They said 80% of strokes can be prevented. Plus, men are more likely to have strokes than women. Unfortunately, women are more likely to die if they have a stroke. And your stroke rate doubles after the age of 55. So for all you baby boomers out there, no doubt your stroke rate goes up. So there's many, many warning signs, as we know, and there's different treatments. You guys can look that up. Herbal medicine and acupuncture are 2 that I'm going to say. I love acupuncture. I've been doing that for years. So let's talk about how to avoid a stroke. All right. It's a bunch of things. Let's do the top 10 ways to avoid a stroke. 1, lower your cholesterol. Everybody seems to have to lower their I need to lower my cholesterol. All right. Avoid smoking. I know I don't do any of that, so that's good. Limit your alcohol. I don't drink at all. You guys know I've been sober for 18 years, so that's good. So again, lower your cholesterol, avoid smoking, limit your alcohol, do word puzzles, brain teasers, memory games. All these little things are good for you. And number 5, exercise. No shit. Exercise. I had a great workout today, guys. I did all 20 exercises that I do. I was there for about an hour. So again, I've had a really good day today. Number 6, mind-body practices like yoga and Tai Chi. I want to start taking Tai Chi and meditation. I mean, yoga and meditation, of course, that's my background. Tai Chi, I'm going to start. Number 7 is diet. Of course, fish, soy, fruits, vegetables, all the good stuff. Got to tighten up that diet, especially as you get older. Number 8 is nutritional supplements. Vitamins B, C, D, and E are all good. I take a vitamin D and a vitamin C. Number 9 is manage your stress. Okay. You get a lot of ways to manage your stress. You could go to counseling for that. You could do massage for that, but definitely kind of bring the stress level down. That's crucial. And number 10, what is this one? Check this out. Floss daily. No kidding. They said you could reduce 22 to 44%. You could reduce your probability of a stroke by flossing daily. Man, that's pretty cool. I think everybody should. All right, let's jump right into movie talk. All right, guys. So, of course, I love movies. Which movie did I watch last night? Con Air. Let me tell you, this is another one of these. Remember Star Trek we talked about last time? Con Air from 1997, starring Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, John Malkovich, and Steve Buscemi. Of course, Danny Trejo's in there. Ving Rhames is in there. Monica Potter. She comes in at the end. Dave Chappelle does a little cameo. This is about, I mean, I really like this movie. This is another one of these movies you could watch more than once. I mean, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know how many times I watched this show. It's about a former Army Ranger, Cameron Poe. Great name, by the way, played by Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, I mean, he is so pumped up in this movie. He's got the long hair. I think it's one of his, well, he's done a lot of great work. Kudos to Nicolas Cage. He's been an amazing actor for how many years? I don't know, 40 years plus. He is another baby boomer, but does a great job of Cameron. He's just paroled for manslaughter. Yeah, that's a whole sketchy thing there. But he's got to stop a group of violent and deadly, led by Malkovich, of course, criminals escaping from the country after they seize control of this big plane and this prison transport plane. And all hell breaks loose. It's gritty, it's violent, it's badass. No doubt it's badass. And it's a fun movie with a happy ending. You gotta like a happy ending when all the bad guys die. And he gets reunited with his wife. Monica Potter plays his wife, with his little daughter who he never met, because he had to go away and serve, I think, 5 years or so, and this little tiny girl. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch Con Air. That's definitely a movie I'm going to recommend for today's. And let's see. Lastly, let's talk about this. I want to give a shout out to Taylor Swift. I mean, aside from being amazing and everything she does, she's the bomb for sure. And all you Swifties out there, congratulations on the release of her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. Dropped, what was it, yesterday or last night or so? Haven't purchased it yet. Okay. All I know is I read it's got 12. It's a tight 12-track run, and she's head over heels in love, and she's got some scores to settle. All right. Let me tell you a quick little story. Guys, enjoy the album. But my favorite song, well, I don't know if it's a favorite song from Taylor Swift, but it's a song that I would play religiously when I taught yoga. Every class was Tim McGraw. I mean, I love that song, played that song. Everybody loved that song. But let me tell you a little cool story, right? So this is at the sort of end of my teaching career, substitute teaching career. It's about 2 years ago. I was teaching at this elementary school. I don't know. It was like third, fourth, fifth grade. I don't know. It was a music class. So they put me in the music class. And what it was kids would come to me. All right. I had this room. Kids would come to me. And then the teacher, I think she's left and watch a movie. But the kids are like, we watched the movie. Don't want to watch a movie. I said, I got a great idea. I said, let me talk about some artists like Taylor Swift that, for music. I said, if you have the passion for it, it doesn't really matter what the voice is. I mean, I played all these different artists. So I went to YouTube and I was like playing clips from songs. I started with Diana Ross and I went, I did Elvis. I was kind of like showing them like, it doesn't really matter what you said, what the voice is. I mean, if you have the passion and you can go for it, go for it. I said, I can't sing a lick, but hey, if you can. So, what happens is towards the end, right? Because I did it chronologically. I had Michael Jackson in there. I mean, it was awesome. And these kids loved it, right? So I put on Taylor Swift. Oh my God. Okay. I'm telling you. I put on Cruel Summer. All right. These kids screamed so loud. They were singing. I was like telling them, take it easy, take it easy. I had teachers lined up outside my door shaking their head. Like, what's this guy doing? These kids, I don't know how old are you in third or fourth grade? Taylor, you should be running for president. I know you could run for, 35? You could run for president now, but I'll tell you, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, without a doubt, Taylor Swift, I got to see you up there, because these kids, like as if you were God. To them, you were the top. I couldn't control it. It got to be where I had to turn the video off. They were so loud, screaming, dancing, jumping around, boys, girls. Right. Kudos to Taylor Swift, knocking it out of the park as usual. So there you go, guys. I got another one of these Tola Talks under my butt. I went back to the headsets, prefer those, hear a little better. But hey, hope you enjoyed it. This is number 193 in total for Tola Talks. So we'll be seeing you. And get your workout in as always, and have an awesome weekend. Peace.